Hi, this is Jason with CrossBreed Holsters, and today I'm going to show you a couple methods to correctly size your minimalist nylon belt from CrossBreed Holsters. Like the name suggests, this is just a basic nylon belt that we started selling really recently. And when it comes to you after you buy it, it's going to come in two pieces. You're going to have your buckle, which is going to come unattached, and you're going to have your actual belt. Now, your actual belt is going to have the metal clasp on one side, and the other side is going to be completely open, ready to receive your buckle. As far as length, this is going to start out at about 70 inches. So you can see it goes from one end of the frame all the way to the other, and that's going to be about 70 inches. And so obviously that's a lot of belt, and it needs to be sized so that it will correctly fit you. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that now. You're going to need a couple of tools for you to do this correctly. The first thing you're going to need is a pair of good fabric scissors, something that's going to cut this nylon pretty effectively. It's not incredibly difficult. The other thing that you're going to need is you're going to need a lighter, and this is going to be for burning off the end of the belt after you've got it sized correctly so that it doesn't fray off. The other thing that's going to be helpful to you is going to be some kind of marking device, and it could be a light colored crayon, it could be a colored pencil, it could be a silver Sharpie, just anything that's going to be able to leave a good clear mark that you're going to be able to see on your belt so that you can size it and cut it correctly. Okay? Now for method number two, you're also going to need a tape measure, and this is one that I just picked up for I think $1 at Walmart. A lot of you probably have one of these laying around your house if you're into sewing at all or whatever. So tape measure for method two. All right, so to go ahead and just dive right into getting this belt sized, I'm going to stand up here, move my chair out of the way a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the clasped end of my belt. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it on as though I was putting on my belt like I do every morning. I'm just going to roll that through the loops of my pants, through my belt loops, that is. Okay, and now I've got my two ends. I got my clasped end and I got my open end. All right, so I need to determine how much overlay I'm going to have with the leftover tongue on my belt. So I'm going to take that clasp end and I'm going to set it about where I would want it to rest as I was wearing it. And for me, that's right here, kind of like right above my hip, right there, okay? And we're gonna take the other end of the belt and we're gonna go ahead and pull it, keeping this end in place. And that's gonna determine, give us a rough estimate of how long our belt needs to be, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and I'm gonna find the button on my pants, and I'm going to grab the interior part of the belt right there. And this being a rough estimate as far as size, that's where I'm going to mark it. So I'm going to take my marking pencil and I'm just going to make a good clear mark that I can see right there on my belt. Okay, and now I'm going to take it out, lay it down on my table, and I'm going to finish making that mark just all the way up and down. Okay. And that's going to be where I'm going to cut my belt at. Okay. So now I'm going to take my scissors, give them a couple opens and closes just to make sure they're working right. I'm going to find that mark, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut as straight as I can across that line. Okay? So now, obviously I've got significantly less belt, and this end is going to fray out a little bit if I don't do this next step. I'm going to take my lighter, and I'm going to light it, and I'm just going to barely kind of run it back and forth across the open end of that belt. Just making sure that the end's not going to fray off. Okay. All right. Now I'm ready to take my buckle. I'm going to take and I'm going to open the bottom part of it and I'm going to thread my belt through there. I'm going to give it maybe a 1/4 inch on the inside of the belt there, and I'm going to go ahead and close that off. All right, and now my belt is ready to wear, so let's go ahead and put it on. Go ahead and thread it through the belt loops like you normally would. Okay, got my buckle right there in the middle. Go ahead and open that up. Stick my clasp through. Go ahead and get it cinched down. All right. And now my belt is ready to wear. And that's the end of method 1. Here in just a second, I'll show you method 2. All right, so with method 2, I need to kind of know what size my belt is going to need to be. And so for that, I'm going to take my tape measure, and just to make sure it's accurate, I'm going to go ahead and thread it through my belt loops as though I'm putting on a belt. Whoop. Almost lost it there. All right, so I'm going to put the one right about where my button is, and I'm going to go ahead and measure the length here. Okay, and for me, we're looking at about 45 inches. Okay, so right there. And to that, I'm going to add probably 5 inches or so, 4 or 5 inches, depending on your preference. Of course, you can add as much length as you want, up to 70 inches, but if you don't need a 70-inch belt, then you don't really need this video. So gonna go with 50 inches. Gonna trim this belt to 50 inches. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and lay out my belt. Clasp end on one side. I'm gonna start my measurement down here. Okay, and just pull it until I get to 50 inches. So there's my 50 inches right about there. I'm going to go ahead and mark it. Make sure that the mark goes all the way up and down and is straight on the belt. Okay, now we can set our measuring tape aside. And I'm ready to cut this thing. I'm going to take my scissors again, and just going to go ahead and cut that right on the line. And again, we're going to take our lighter, just kind of burn off the end of it. Make sure that it's not going to fray on us. All right, that's looking good. All right, now I'm ready to take my buckle. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the bottom part of that. Get my belt in there. Again, give it about a 1/4 inch or so. Just go ahead and lock that down on the bottom. And now my belt's ready to put on. So let's go ahead and get this one threaded on again. Open up the top of the belt buckle, thread it through. Go ahead and get the belt put on where it needs to be. And there you go. Perfect, ready to go. All right, guys. If you have any more questions about the CrossBreed Minimalist Belt or any of our other products, you can reach out to us at the number below. Talk to customer service. And of course, check out the rest of our products at CrossBreedHolsters.com. This has been Jason. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.